1. Derek Stevens in Las Vegas, and Holt in Georgia, Matt Davis in Charlotte, and everyone here in New York City. We are one nation. It is the 4th of July. Are you with me? So now, the championship of the world. It is go time. It is go time time. It is go, no, go, lock and load, love him, smoke him if you got him, see you want to see us, see on the other side, time, count it down with me from 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
And they are off. And this first minute or two is really key, Rich.
Yeah, if you look at the numbers from past years, the first minute or two is where they set their pace. Same with the ladies' competition. You know, I asked Joey, with 14 wins out here, has the event become routine? He said actually when he takes the stage every year, he feels like the 20-year-old kid he was back in 05. I remember that year. He was a rookie out of the asparagus circuit. He did 32 hot dogs and buns in the 12-minute contest back then, his first Nathan's event. He went on to beat Kobe actually a couple years later, and the rest is history. I mean, what a treasury of past achievements for this man, Joey Chestnut.
14 times the champ, 6 times over 70, 8 times he has set the world record, most recently last year when he went to 76. And early on, the last couple of years when he broke the record, he had 12 dogs in the first minute. He's 10 and 11 up there, and then quickly out, Webb, Esper, they're right there.
Yeah, look at Joey, though. He's just such a smooth eater. It's hand to plate, hand to mouth, repeat. Hand to plate, hand to mouth, repeat. So instinctive. It's like Ben Hogan swinging an iron or Mickelson playing blackjack. It just comes naturally to him.
Well, Hogan always hit the sweet spot. Phil sometimes should go ahead and maybe just hold on that number.
Stay away from Wingfoot.
Yep, stay away with that. Yeah, be careful. What a stupid I am as you come through. OG up there on the board early. And as you look at the master leaderboard, as we're 90 seconds into our contest.
The truth, Gideon OG, 6'9", Nigerian eater, lives in Georgia now, here in the United States. The kale eating champion of the world.
Kale and also sweet corn. By the way, I put my mother on that. Sweet corn, she could take some people out. Iowa girl, she could go. Chestnut up at 17 as we approach the 2-minute mark. And again, on record pace, he was at 23. So Joey is not eating as he has in the past, and you wonder, the guy's got a boot on his foot. If he had a broken leg, and then he had complications with it, and then he got hurt again with tendon issues, and that's got to affect him in some way.
Yeah, and he just hasn't been active this year because of it. You know, Esper has done pretty much every contest we've had. He's undefeated in 2022. Chestnut went out to compete at 1, and Esper beat him. So Esper comes in here the sort of the most active eater of the year, so Joey may have a little rust, but we are still early in this competition.
Flanked by Nick Weary, as you see on his right, screen left, and then there's Esper in the washed out, faded Boston Red Sox cap. There's the boot you see.
Yeah. You know, we saw Nick Weary in that piece earlier with his wife Mickey, and he really puts in the effort. He's fully immersed in the work, like John Mayer singing Jerry tunes. No, he's not the GOAT, but you got to respect him. Joey, of course, is the GOAT. 28 now, 3 in.
So 3 minutes in, as we approach 3.5, that's kind of a number to watch. George Esper has said that really halfway in the contest is not 5 minutes. Halfway is right around 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, Esper just signaled for more dogs, and he got them. No supply chain issues in Coney Island today.
So everybody, the really big eaters have a guy with a plate at 5 on that plate, and he is ready to go at any moment. Also ready to go, our man Jason Fitz, who was in the, well, you're just there where you could get some collateral damage and some shrapnel. How we doing, Fitz?
I mean, the splash zone is everything I wanted it to be and more, gentlemen. I will say, Gideon knows he's doing a little bit different than everybody else. If you notice, he's taking 2 at a time, hot dog bun in one hand. So he's got a much different approach. Also, keep an eye on Nick. You guys were talking about Nick Weary and the work he does. He told me yesterday he was curious to see if the crowd would make him push too hard in the beginning. Let's see if he slows down as he gets rolling. Back to you, gentlemen.
All right, Chase. Go ahead, maybe borrow a baby wipe or something from Mickey Sudo down there.
George Sugar only has 13. Jerome Powell isn't the only guy struggling with the pressures of inflation. Sugar's numbers are way off here today.
But if you are the red horse of death, listen, I'm all in with that guy. Look who's back. is a legend, Bertoletti.
I love it when Pat Bertoletti competes. It's great to have him back. It's like when Bob Stinson was with the replacements. There's more edge. There's more uncertainty. It's a better show with Pat Deep Dish Bertoletti.
So Chestnut's 38. That's halfway to the world record. When he had 38 last year, he did that at 6:14. So I think we can take world record off the board for him.
In fairness, he's been away from the table for 10 straight years.
I'm talking about Chestnut.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chestnut. Sorry, I was looking at the screen, my man.
But still, he's very much. Listen, he's still working hard.
Yeah.
Right. It's not a question of effort at this point.
Never. Chestnut's a special leader. He really is the greatest of all time.
Already has 14 of the mustard-colored belts. Still at the just now dip below the 8 dogs per minute.
Pretty steady DPM, really. You know, some magic could happen here in these last few minutes. That's a pretty solid DPM back up to 8.
You take a good look at a swath of the table there, down under, the best in the southern hemisphere.
Yep. He had 41.5 to get into this thing. That's a really, really incredible rookie number.
Touch on that. How do people get to that table?
We have qualifiers around the country and world, and some of these guys are here on merit just because we had a truncated circuit this year. But typically you have to win a Nathan's qualifier to get to the table.
Jason, what do you have?
I'm looking here at Bertoletti, who we had all eyes on after a 10-year gap. There's been twice now that he's just looked down at his cups, not really sure what his strategy is. So you can tell he's a little rusty. We didn't know. Rest versus rust. There's been a couple of times that he's lost time by trying to figure out what he wants to do next. So back to you guys.
So the cups are key, right? Like I did the New York Marathon, and guys have their water bottle, and it's exactly the mixture they want, the exact stuff they have to have, and they grab the wrong one and can throw them off.
Yeah, we talked about it's called the alternative beverage movement. Actually ushered in years ago by Eater X, the guy who got the Hall of Fame induction today. Eater X not competing anymore, but he is playing mini golf, I understand, in Farmington Mini Golf in Farmington, Connecticut. Course record 32. He shot a 33 recently. I've played Marion. I've played Maidstone. Farmington Mini Golf is on the bucket list.
It ought to be. It's right up there with Pine Valley. Joey hits the 50 mark. Still a magic number, even though he blows by it every year. That's still a significant number.
Michelle's looking in from the VIP lodge upstairs. This is fun. This is the most fun I've had all summer, and I've had a fun summer, John. I went to Prospect Park recently to see Phoebe Bridgers. Stephen Malcolm stood next to me pretty much the whole contest. That was insane, but this is more insane. This is next level.
And the crowd explodes into a Joey cheer, trying to push him along. It's a tough day. It's 81 degrees out, the sun beating down on you.
The crowd is here, though. It's great to see this crowd. This is a singular place. You know, the corner of Servant Stillwell. It's just, New York is at its most complete. And I don't know if you watched Billions, but Compliment has shot like 70 off the top of that thing. He's never once based one around the hot dog eating contest. I mean, Craig Finn was on the show, not Joey Chestnut. It's a disservice.
I mean, what do we need to do? How much more do you have?
54 now.
Here they are, up 54, safely in front by 17. His biggest margin last year when he ate 76 was 26.
Guys, it looks like Derek Henderson might be losing the war here. He is trying his best, but it's at this point, his body is starting to reject it. I'm in the middle of the splash zone trying to avoid this, but everybody's cheering him on. He's slowing down. I think he might be on his way out of this one. Jeff, back to you guys.
Second time he's been here, 15th in his debut before. We're here at Coney Island. I mentioned the New York Marathon. I just think it's crazy. That's 5 boroughs. It takes 2 hours and 10 minutes, and most people burn off more calories you can stand. And now I sit here, and these guys are only going to be here 10 minutes, and they're going to eat more calories than people burn off.
They could run for weeks and still have some body fat there. Well, Jeffrey Esper, every bit the Pro Chevalier with 39. I don't think he's going to win this thing.
So the numbers overall, both this and the women's competition, is down, but overall the margins are kind of same, and the class has shown itself.
Yeah, and Joey's still impressive. It's just incredible, year after year after year, and he's not slowing down. You know, he's still going at it. He just didn't set the right DPM, didn't get it, in his pocket. But an incredible moment, powerful enough to one day be an anecdote because he's going for 15.
50 seconds left in our 10 minutes. I kind of think of Einstein when he explained relativity. He said like 1 second on a hot stove can feel like an hour, but 1 hour with a pretty woman can feel like 1 second. And I think this tends more to sitting on the stove.
Yeah, it does. Look at that, though. You want to see greatness? Look to the left of your screen. Joey Chestnut, the knee plus ultra of human achievement, going to get north of 60 and pick up another belt.
20 seconds remaining. The dog count is up to 61. Roger Maris would be proud. Esper trying to maybe stay within 20, which is probably a victory in itself for him. He'll have pizza and shortcake in his future to scarf down. But for now, George takes us home with Joey Chestnut.
Wounded, but very much alive, Joey, with another title.
Holds in that last one. The final dogs get counted up. Wash it down. Joey Chestnut unofficially 63 hot dogs and bun. A winner by 20. Title number 15 for the greatest eater of all time. Back with the final numbers and to talk with the champ when we return here on ESPN and the Nathan Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest. ESPN's coverage of the 2022 Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest is brought to you by Nathan's Famous, the flavor of New York.
This 4th of July.